first trick is on how to compare the values filtered for a particular date or to range of the particular date range to total sum. So if you see, we'll create one visualization. Subcategory. We'll have filter on order date, continuous filter that will range of dates. Okay, so if you see, if now we will move this slider range, first it will gray out the whole worksheet area, and then if we release it, then it will redraws it at the latest value or the value filter down to for this particular date range. So what if we want to see it moving or dynamically moving from the original value to the values for this date range only? So if we want to compare how much proportion we are away from that original value for this date range, how we can do that, we'll see. So one way of doing it is we'll bring order date in details. We'll have it continuous. Exact date. Okay. So if you now see, it divides this whole visualization for different dates as we bring this order date into the details pane. So for each date, there will be a different border. So to remove this thing, what we can do, we can go into the colors pane, and effects border, we can select none. So that will remove the borders that came. So now if you will move this chart, okay, we'll edit the axis, we'll have it fixed. Now if we will move this chart, you can see it moves dynamically, it did not grade out and then redraws it. We can see from the original value how much we are away. So if we come at this point, we can see we are almost half from the original value. So we can say for this much date range, we have come half to our original total sales. This is the first way of doing this. We will see another way of doing it using data blending. What we can do, another thing is we will duplicate this data source. We'll create the visualization again. We'll have order date filter. Okay, so now what we'll do, we will have it from the secondary data source that we have used. We'll bring sum of sales from here also. So with this one, so the one thing that we have to make sure in this one is the blending is not on the order date. So if it will be on order date, that filter will affect both of the data sources. So blending should not be on the order date. It's on subcategory. So that should work fine. So we'll bring the order date details in first one only. Make it dual axis. Okay, we will choose lighter color for this one, that we can see it moving. The bar chart. move this marks to back. So now if you can see,
Jagger, I think synchronized access is one.
yep. If you can see, this blue part is representing the total number of sales, and this gray part is representing only the sales for that particular time period. So we can compare, like in this one, we can visualize them, both of them at the same time. We can compare the total date range sales and sales for a particular time period. This is another way of comparing both the values. So we'll move on to the third trick. We'll see how we can create a bar chart without an axis. We'll bring subcategory here. So what we can do to like make it a bar chart without any axis, we can bring sales in the size section and have it as a bar. This chart now will don't have any axis, and it's like representing the sales amount in the bar chart form. We'll come to our fourth trick. So this is like how we can compare the values at different levels of data. So suppose we have values at different state level, different region level, and different national level. So how we can compare it in the single visualization using blending. So first we will blend it. Create one visualization. Reason. See, small sales. Okay. So we'll have sum of sales percentage of total. Okay. So this one is like total percent of sale for each subcategory that will be contributed in each region, and according to that, so we'll create this visualization. We'll have it as the state filter. Show this filter. So now if we filter this down to a particular state, now if we filter it down to Arizona only, so what this graph representing is like, it's representing the percent of total sales each category or subcategory contributing in that particular state only. So if you see, for Arizona, we have 18.42%. Furniture or chairs is contributing 18.42%, and for like this one, tables is contributing 11.32%. So this is for only this particular state only. So what if we want to see how much this subcategory is contributing at the region level, or how much this subcategory sales is contributing at the national level? So we'll see how we can do that. We'll go to the data that we duplicated. Okay, so for the reason level, what we'll do, we'll blend on reason, category and subcategory. We'll not blend on state, otherwise that will affect that value also. So we'll bring this sales from here. This reason. Percent of total. So now if you see, these values are different for technology. Phones, so phones is contributing in the state level for 14.60 and in the regional level it's 20.94. Okay, so region level it's 14.60 and the state level is 20.94. So what if we blend on state also? So if we blend on state also, these two values will become same, 20.94, 20.94. So that if state filter will affect the second visualization also, so second data source also. So we'll remove the blending on state. Now if you see, the values are different and the region level is different and at the state level is different. So we'll bring this one into our details. Okay, so we have regional level values. We'll go to our another duplicated data source. So on this one, we want at national level. So we don't want it to be divided in regional level also. So we'll blend it only on category and subcategory. We'll not even blend it on region also. We'll remove this one. So set national level. Okay, so if you now see, these values are different. So national level it's at 15.37, region level it's 14.60 and total state level it's 20.94. So we have all the three values, the different granularity levels of data. We'll bring it this one also in details. Now we can create some visualization with this one. So what we'll do, we'll give our reference line. Regional level. So this line is representing our regional level value. And this one is for national level. We'll have a band. I'm not sure by line. We'll fill below with a lighter color. So you can see here, so this blue bar is representing the state level contribution and this line is representing the regional level contribution and this gray fill is representing the national level contribution. So this is how we can compare the values at different data levels in single visualization using data blending. So now we will move on to our fourth trick, that is market basket analysis in data blending. Using data blending. So what we will do, okay, so now then this one we have sales for different subcategories like phones, chairs and storage. So what if we we know that this much amount of orders is from phones, so this much amount of sales is from chairs. So what if we also want to know, like when people buy office chairs or like when people buy some, and it's like subcategory like chairs. So if we want to know like when people buy this chairs subcategory, so do they buy any like accessories or bookcases also along with that? So like if they buy any like tables, so do they buy any furnishings or paper also? So this cumulative with like this kind of analysis we want to do. This is like a market basket analysis. So what we will do in this one, we can create a duplicate. So we have duplicated the data source. So in this one, what we want to do is like at each order level. So we want to do our analysis at a single order level. We want to know like how much orders from like chairs category people also buy accessories or like other categories, other subcategories. So we want our analysis to be at each order ID level. So we'll blend it on order ID, not at subcategory. We'll blend it on order ID level. We'll bring subcategory from the secondary data source. So it's filter. First we will select none. Select two only appliances and bookcases. Okay, so now if we can see, so this one is like people who bought bookcases doesn't bought any appliances, and when they bought this much amount like 106k amount of bookcases, they have bought like other two subcategories worth 8,000 also. So this asterisk is represent the other categories other than the bookcases and other than the appliances. So other than these categories, they have bought this much amount of other two categories, any two categories that can be. So if you can see now, or in this one, so people who bought machines, so they spend this much amount in appliances, and on the same order they spend this much amount in the bookcases also. This is like our market basket analysis using the data blending. Okay, so we'll continue this one on next session.